Hey friends, it's Meredith and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I want to read in May. An important thing that I would like you to know about me before going into this video is that I've never completed a TBR. I make them, I try to complete them, and I never do. I am fully aware that I will not be reading every single book on this list. They're just books that I'd like to. They're options. We'll see what happens. That being said, the first book that I have on this list is a book that I know with 100% certainty that I will be reading in the month of May, and that is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. It comes out May 3rd, and I am so excited. I already have it pre-ordered. It is coming signed. So excited about that. I love beach read. I love People We Meet on Vacation. They're two of my favorite romances of all time. I don't know anything about it, I'll be honest. People have said that it is about two book lovers, hence the title, and that's literally all I know. I am so excited to just jump into it blind and see what I think. I cannot wait. Next, I am going to continue my reading of ACOTAR with A Court of Mist and Fury, and the dust jacket is missing because I am currently reading it now. I am only 20 pages in, so not far at all. I'm excited to see where it goes. I know that this is a favorite for a lot of people, and so I'm excited to see why and to see where the series goes, because there are some things that I know people have opinions about that I want to know more about. It sounded really vague, but there's so much in this series that I know people love and they just talk about constantly, and I want to be a part of the conversation. I've been putting it off for too long. So I am so excited to continue with the series and to finish this chunker of a book. It will also be my first Sarah J Maas sequel, so that will be cool. I can see how she loves to rip out the hearts of her readers. Can't wait to experience it. Next is another book that I am kind of in the middle of. I started it on a whim randomly one day, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Don't know much about this one either. I know a lot of people love it, even though it is a YA mystery. A lot of people that don't usually like YA really liked this one. I believe this story follows a girl named Poppy who is out to basically solve this murder. The murder was considered closed, and she believes that the wrong person was convicted, so she is trying to figure out who really did it. Something cool about my copy is that it was printed upside down. So here is my book. Here's the spine. So as you can tell, it's upside down right now. So if I flip it to the right side where it says A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the book is upside down. Isn't that so weird? Here, let me go to like a chapter, like chapter 4. It says it right here. If I close it, it's upside down. I just thought that was the weirdest thing. That is not the only book I've bought like that either. I remember I had a copy of a Judy B. Jones book that was like that, and my grandma thought it was so cool, so she kept it. But yeah, I don't know why I keep buying books that are upside down. Next, I'm going to continue on with my reading of the Addicted series. This is the third book in the Addicted series, and it is actually the last one before I start the Calloway Sisters series, which I'm really excited about. I really love Lily and Lo, but I am excited to get more of a perspective from the other sisters. This is a book that I think I will like a lot more than the last one. I gave Ricochet 4 stars, so I still really liked it, but this is going to pick up where the last one left off, and I think that I will really enjoy reading what is to come, because a lot of my issues with the last one I think will be solved in this one. So I'm excited about it. It's a lot longer than the last one, so I'm hoping that a lot happens, and yeah, I'm just excited to continue on. I am vlogging all of the Addicted Calloway Sisters books in spoiler-filled vlogs. So if you would like to read the series, or if you wanted to do a buddy read with me, I will link those videos down below. So read them, watch the video with me, we can chat. Next, I would like to read Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I love Colleen Hoover. I am hoping to read all of her books. She's an author that's very hard for me to binge because I get very invested in her stories and they just take over a lot of what I'm thinking. I get in a little bit of a slump after reading her because I just love the book so much that it's all I can think about. So a perfect example is this past month I reread It Ends With Us and didn't read another book for 2 weeks. So I can't be doing that all the time. Maybe someday is one that I don't hear too much about. I have heard some people say that they really loved it, and it's kind of one of her more underrated books. I think that it follows two songwriters, or these two people that start writing songs together. I really don't know a lot about it, but it is a series, so I'm excited to get to it. And I did watch an interview with Colleen Hoover where she had mentioned that the characters from these books were the characters that she would most like to go on vacation with and hang out with. So if these are some of Colleen Hoover's favorite characters, I cannot wait to see what I think of them. I would also like to get to Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. I have not heard a ton about this book, but I have been seeing people compare it to It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which, like I just said, is one of my all-time favorite books. I love it so much. This is a childhood friends to lovers, and I believe that they bonded over the tough childhoods that they had. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't read the back, to be honest. I just kind of wanted to jump into it. I love going into my books blind, and so the main little top part here says, imagine opening a book and discovering that someone else has written your life story. So that sounds super interesting. I have not read anything by this author, so I am excited to read from her. And I just noticed this. Clearly I don't pay attention when I buy my books, but on the cover it says, Swear on This Life is Renee Carlino at her finest. Raw, real, and gripping. I read it in one sitting. Queen Colleen Hoover blurbed it. So I have a feeling I'm going to love this. Cannot wait to get to it. So next are the books that I am planning to either listen to on audio or read on my Kindle. The first one is the first Zodiac Academy book, which is The Awakening. This series is by Caroline Peckman and Suzanne Valentini. I have been hearing so much hype around these books. So many booktubers that I love and trust their opinions have just adored these books. It is a bully romance, and I hear that the first book is especially bad. So what I understand is it's about two sisters who go to this fairy school, and they don't really fit in. The students are just very mean to them. That is really all I understand about the series so far. I also know that one of the sisters, twins, whatever they are, her name is Tori Vega, and that is also the main character in Victorious, and that is all I can think of when people talk about the characters in this book. Like, I've heard the name Tori Vega and I just think of this girl.
Actually, we all say true. Yeah,
the next book that I would like to get to is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I've heard so many good things about this book. I would love to know the hype behind it, which is how I usually end up adding these books to my TBR anyway. Sahar over at Basically Bookish Reads announced on her May TBR that she was doing a read along with some friends and that they were going to be live streaming their reading of it, and so I am using this as an excuse to jump on board and finally read this book, so when they do their live stream I'll start reading it. I actually just saw a TikTok of Christine Riccio. She was just talking about how much she loved the book, and so I took that as another sign that I am meant to read this book this month. I am hoping to love it. I know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. Except that there's hype around it. Speaking of Sahar and books that she convinces me to read, I am planning to read Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is the Fanro book club pick. I also know nothing about this one. I love reading the Fanro book club picks along with her and hearing her thoughts because she is the fantasy queen, and I do enjoy fantasy. I just really know nothing about it, and it seems like such an intimidating genre for me. So she picks some amazing fantasy romances that I've really loved so far. So I am excited to see what Guild is all about. So I'm hoping to read that one this month as well. And finally, I am going to read Below Zero by Ali Hazelwood. This is the third novella in the Feminist series. I talked about the previous two in my reading wrap-up, and so I am excited to see what the final one's about. I gave the other two 4 stars, so we'll see if this one continues the trend. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end and enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more bookish content from me, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. And in the comments, let me know what book you are most excited to read in the month of May. So thanks again so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!